Welcome back, everybody. My name's A-Predator54, aka Adam, coach of the McChesley Park Slowpokes. Today I bring you the draft analysis for, I believe it's season 6 or 7 of NBBL. This season we get to draft a Terra Captain from Tier 3, one from Tier 4, one from Tier 5. For our 11-team roster, they have to be locked into a type of stab plus 2 of our choosing. Well, all in all, it's going to be rather interesting. There were 28 people in this draft. I was pick number 26, and without further ado, we are going to hop on into this. And we've gotten around 1 Gouging Fire. I came here to Pride Rock because it's rather fitting. Everything, well, anything you can see yeah, I own all of this. Gouging Fire is a phenomenal Pokemon. Being able to be a Morning Sun Burning Bulwark setting up DD with Earthquake Scale Shot is phenomenal, amazing. Having Photosynthesis and Sun is very good. Being able to run Booster Energy in a no item clause league is amazing. And I mainly wanted to fall asleep because I wanted to see... Oh my god, look at this lazy motherfucker. Well, no, this thing is incredibly strong. I can't remember this thing's attack stat off the top of my head. I will look real quick. Nope. I want this one. Nope. This one. Gouging is 115 attack right off the gate, 91 speed, 121 defense. So this thing is actually incredibly bulky. So yeah, you can be offensive, you can be defensive, you can be tanky with Burning Bulwark. You can do a lot with this mon. It's well worth the round 1 pick of my tier 1. And I'm surprised I got this at 26 pick. Iron Valiant went at pick 27 immediately after me, which is insane. Oh, how the mighty have fallen. But all in all, that is our first pick overall. We will hop on into pick number 2 after a change of scenery. We will catch you guys in a second. For pick number 2, it came back to me, and we decided to get Necrozmas again. This is a tier 3 Terra Captain. Why they let this thing Terra, I do not know. But we are Terra Psychic, Fairy, and Steel. This also gets access to Moonlight and I believe Morning Sun. Can be incredibly annoying. Access to DD, Lost Rock Polish. But being able to just full-time geyser through abilities like Unaware is just absolutely amazing. And, oh yeah, you fell asleep pretty quickly. Okay, so it's just kind of just drooping there. But all in all, this getting access to Stealth Rocks, getting access to DD, phenomenally good. Getting access to Gravity for one of my later picks is also massive. Gravity gives, I believe, a 30% boost to inaccurate moves, so it allows them to land better, which we will take. We will not complain at all. Necrozma, though, is nothing to scuff at. 107 attack and 127 special attack with 79 speed, decent bulk. That is a hard mon to switch into, but we will make it work. Granted, let's move around a little bit. I want to see how fast you can go. Can I sink you down? No, you can't. But this thing, this massive behemoth, with everything it can do, a functional toolbox, Calm Mind, Iron Defense, Everything else it can do, plus screens, all in all, plus rocks, is a phenomenal Pokemon. This being a Terra Captain, it was well worth the round 2 pick when I could have taken like something incredibly good in tier 2. I took this just because I can Terra it. AKA, this is the start of the war crimes. There is still more to come, you guys will see, but this is just the beginning. So for now, we have Gouging and Necro. We will hop on into Mon number 3. Alright, for round 3, we decided to take a Mon in tier 2, and we decided Primarina. Let's get something that perfectly walls the stab, super effective moves on both Necrozma as well as Gouging Fire. So now I'm immune to Dragon, and I resist the Dark type moves going into Necrozma. All in all, that is incredibly good. This thing is a massive Spadef tank with Calm Mind. Granted, I wish it got Trailblaze or Agility to raise its speed, but beggars can't be choosers. It's still a decent Mon. Gives me access to Flip Turn and Haze, Light Screens, Reflex. All in all, gets me a lot. This even has access to Sing if I need to put things to sleep. Hence, the Gravity reference. Sing now becomes 75% accurate, which I'll take. It's a 50% accurate move, and I can just land it like raw with a little bit more accuracy better than Hypnosis. I will take it. But mainly this is here to be a Flip Turn bot, a Spadef wall, spam Psychic Noise through substitutes, and because it's Liquid Voice, it turns into a Water type move, so even Dark type can't switch on the Psychic type move. So you can choice yourself. Granted, that is a double-edged sword. In Sun, it's still a Water type move, and it does absolutely nothing. But Prem's here, she's well worth the 2 points, and I am kind of just upset that she just doesn't lay down. I wanted to see sleep animations for these guys. That's the whole reason why I'm doing it this way. But we will hop on into Mon number 4. Alright, for round number 4, let's get another rocker. We got Landorus. Sheer Force was legal in this league. This is a tier 2 Pokemon along with Primarina. And this thing just hits super goddamn hard. Being able to do physical or special damage with Sheer Force is amazing with 101 speed, 125 attack, and 115 special attack. There are AV Mons that just do not switch into this. Its Sandshear Storm, I believe, is 100% accurate in rain, 80% accurate otherwise. Oh, he just sleeps cross-armed. Alright. But this thing in 101 speed is still a decent speed tier this gen. It's middle of the pack and phenomenally good. It makes it incredibly good as a Scarfer. This forces people to Scarf over the top of me, which I'll take. Being able to have access to rocks and gravity as well to make my moves more accurate. Gravity on this thing plus Focus Blast is a guaranteed connection, which is absolutely insane into steel types, which I'll take. I'll take that 100% of the time. Let's see, do you get anything else? This gives me access to U-Turn for momentum. This gives me access to Taunt and Knockoff, which I'll take. Interesting. It says this gets Sand Tom still. I did not know it got Sand Tom still. Yeah. Oh no. Phenomenal Mon. Granted, this lost Rock Polish this gen. I'll take it. Trade-off is I got Nasty Plot and Calm Mind now. Okay? Nasty Plot, Calm Mind, Sword Stance, Bulk Up. What's more to love in this Mon? But this is my breaker. If Necrozma needs an opening and Gouging needs an opening and this thing can plow through them, I will happily take this. Bring it into the battle, break away, and just let something else clean up, or let this be the cleaner. But all in all, Lando is a phenomenal Pokemon, and we are going to hop on into the next one. Alright, for round number 5, we decided let's take our second Terra Captain. We took our tier 4 Terra Captain in Sinatra. All in all, this little teacup that could do is incredibly interesting. Can I move faster? Oh my god, it kicks its legs! Is it kicking its legs? Oh, oh that's beautiful. It kicks its tiny little legs. So this is my tiny little death trap. I want to know what it looks like when it sleeps. We're about to find out in a second if it even has a sleep animation. But this thing given access to Machagata, gets access to Scald, gets access to Giga Drain, Shadow Ball, Hex. Machagata plus Hex is just insane on this thing. Oh, it just sinks down and it becomes a little good. That is cute. All in all, this thing being a good wall for the team, it ended up being Ghosts. Because I'm required to stab. Terra Water plus Heat Proof is just incredibly hard to kill. Gets Scald Stab. Just forces them to run a grass type move into me or an electric type move, which I shit on with Shadow Ball after I Calm Mind. This even gets access to Trick Room and Iron Defense. So this thing can just be a menace to society. And I also gave it Terra Fighting to be able to bust through Dark and Steel types, which I'll take. I also can bust through Rock types as well, which all in all isn't a bad thing. And being able to resist Rock and Dark moves is phenomenal good. I will take that any day in a Terra Captain. But next, we will hop on into round number 6. Alright, here's where things get interesting. I decided round 6, I just wanted to get a form of removal. Technically it's there. We got Defog and Cleavor. It Naruto runs. My biggest fear is running into a shiny whenever I do this. So I always look around to make sure I'm not. But, hey look. The fraud is here. But, Cleavor Sharpness is incredibly good. X-Scissor, Air Slash, Aerial Ace, Stone Axe, and Night Slash are all Sharpness boosted. So is Fury Cutter, which is also Stab. This thing gained access to Trailblaze, Sword Stance, and I believe even has access to Tailwind, which could be a weakness policy set if you run Max Bulk with Tailwind. Okay, that is sick. He just gets down like that. But being able to have access to free rocks as well as just being able to have the potential to run the Defog is incredibly good. This even gets access to close combat for steel types. This is Night Slash does over 50% to a gold angle, even if it's tanky. That's on switching. And the real interesting thing is Bandit Stone Axe to a gold angle on switching if it's not max HP, max defense, does max 49%. That is supposed to be a resist, folks. That just punches. That is ridiculous. Bandit X-Scissor can one-hit KO non-tanky Ting Lu, which is incredibly strong. But this even gets access to U-Turn as well as for momentum. So all in all, Cleavor is a very good Pokemon. I'm glad I'm using this again. This is the return from last season. I just killed the other Cleavor, which is hilarious. He didn't want none. I might as well name you AJ Styles because they don't want none. We will hop on into Mon. Alright, this is round number 7. I decided, you know what this team is missing is Spikes, T-Spikes, and a good typing. We got Overquill, and honestly, I love this shiny so much. You have no idea. This and Hisui and Quillfish. are just so beautiful. Like, I love this. Look at, they knew what they were doing when they made this, especially putting the Q on its tail. It was just beautiful. This gives me access to spikes. This gives me access to T-spikes, Intimidate, Swift Swim, Poison Point as well, I believe. I do not believe this gets access to Flip Turn. Let's double check that real quick. It does not get access to Flip Turn like regular Quillfish does, but I'll take Aqua Jet, especially in rain. And look at this little guy. Even asleep, he's just a pissed off little lad. This was tempting to make my tier 5 Terra, but I decided to do something more fun. You guys will see it, with the next pick. I had 3 phenomenal tier 5 options to choose from, as well as 2 phenomenal tier 5, actually 3 tier 4 mons to choose from. All in all, could have been incredibly good. But Overquill does what it needs to. This thing is incredibly fat, only weak to ground is just ridiculous. Especially with its stats being 85 HP, 115 attack, 95 defense. The only issue is its SPDF is 65, but its speed's 85. I can work with that. And having 65 special attack, especially in rain, when you're dealing with a ground type, with Surf or Hydro Pump, is respectable damage. They still can get absolutely body bagged by a mixed Overgrowth. But we will hop on into the next mod. We will catch you guys shortly. Alright, for round number 8, we decided to take our last tier 5 captain, which is going to be a lot of fun. We got the Family Feud show. Boing, 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 boing. Do they all sleep is what I need to know. This having access to not only Tidy Up, but access to, I think this gets knocked off as well. 1 second, I believe this does get knocked off. The mice do not get knocked off, but they do get Encore. I can Encore lock an opponent, Tidy Up in their face, and then just spam Pop Bomb. This forces a Steel type, this forces a Rock type, and this forces a Ghost to come. Well, the rest of my team deals with ghosts. Rock types really don't want to deal with me, and are they... Oh my god. The fucking family sleeps. Back what I was saying. Pop Bomb being 90% accurate for every single hit. Well, you add gravity to that. Now, every single Pop Bomb lands. And you can run protective pads to avoid Rocky Helmet. So that is a Terra Normal boosted Pop Bomb, 100% accurate, protective pads, and you're avoiding touching your opponent. Okay, I'll take that. Dodging Rocky Helmet for free? Okay, what are you gonna do? Normally you run loaded dice to try and get 10 hits off. But with gravity, you can run protective pads. Granted, there are going to be times where I run boots, I want to run loaded dice, and we call it a day. Like, oh no, this thing has 75 attack, 111 of speed is nothing to laugh at, especially after a tidy up. But even at neutral, Pop Bomb just does a metric ton. This is also Terra Ghost to remove its fighting weakness and block Rapid Spin. Okay, now I can just immediately swing into a mon like Goldango that can resist Pop Bomb. Alright, take this Terra Ghost to the face. Terra Fighting is to deal with the rock types and steel types that this thing normally struggles with, so we can punch through that. It gets play rough for dark types and fighting types, but being able to have Terra fighting straight into a dark type is incredibly good. It hits a little bit harder than play rough. But I believe this set of mice also gets Technician, which is incredibly good. This even gets access to Cheek Pouts. Cheek Pouts, if I hit 50% HP and activate Citrus Berry, I now get double healing, or I can have an Endure set with Lychee Berry for free and get health back. That is incredibly good. All in all, I look forward to seeing what I can do with this as a Terra Captain, and we will hop on into the next Mon, and we will let these adorable little mice sleep. For pick number 9 of the draft, we brought back another fan favorite from SDA, Bubby the Polytoad. Yes, you saw Overquill, you saw Sandshear Storm. Might as well add Rain, give our Lando 100% accurate Sandshear Storms with a chance to burn even if we're not running Sheer Force. All in all, that is incredibly good. This beefs up Primarina. This cuts the fire damage for the team, which is incredibly good for the Terra Water Sinatra, which also gets rain boosted Scald. What's not to love? This guy is here, this guy is having fun. This even gives me access to Water Absorb, which I will take. Especially with mons like Cleavor and Lando, having the opportunity to just bring this in on a water type move is incredibly good. Granted, I wish this mon got Trailblaze. Beggars can't be choosers. I wish I had a way to raise speed without running Blunder Policy or Salic Berry, but it is what it is. Yeah, we'll make it work. We don't have sticky webs on this team breaking the fourth wall, but we are going to let this little toad that could, aka Bubby and Bubette, or no, what am I gonna name the, I think I'm gonna name the, I don't know what I'm gonna name the girl. We'll figure that out when the season runs, but if it's male, it's Bubby, and we will hop on into the next Pokemon. Alright, for pick number 10, we're here in Chargestone Cave for a reason. We have the King of the Cave. We have Luxray. This was so hard not to make this a Terra Captain over Mousehold as well. Overquill, Luxray, and Mousehold, I could not have gone wrong with any of the three as a captain. Especially with this thing having access to Agility plus Guts Facade with Terra Normal. It's just absolutely ridiculous. But all in all, Luxray hits incredibly hard. This gives me double Intimidate on the team. This gives me double Sheer Force, which is just absolutely ridiculous. And we got a nice little Prairie Kitty here. Aw, he's sweepy. Luxray is a phenomenal Pokemon. Access to Trailblaze to be able to hit grass types, especially with water types, especially with Guts, is amazing. I know it gives it a way to hit rock types. This even gets access to Fire Fang, Ice Fang, Punch, Play Rough, Facade. Can punch through a lot of things. All in all, Luxray is a very good mon. The problem is its speed is the only thing holding it back. If it was just a tiny bit faster, the mon will get used more. But it is what it is. We'll make this work. Again, if this team had Sticky Webs behind it, Luxray would have been an immediate choice for Terra Captain. And I would have just cooked. I can always change it from the mice later on, and I would do this one over Overquill still. Even though Terra Water Overquill just does a metric ton. But we will see what we can do with this beautiful, pretty golden kitty. And we will hop on into the last mon of the draft. Alright, for the final mon of the draft, we took a tier 4 Pokemon to end us off. We took Gallade. This gives us double sharpness. This gives access to T-Wave, access to Trick Room, access to Will-O-Wisp, access to Swords Dance and Agility. Why are you? Holy shit, why are you so fast? Alright, you are just gonna. You would be atrocious to Shiny Hunt with. Because you would be zooming past things. Holy Jesus, it's fast. But this thing having a nice offensive attack stat. What else do you get? You get Steadfast, Sharpness, and Justified. This punishes Dark types that want to swing in. But what is your stat breakdown? Your 80 speed, your 65 defense, 115 Spadef. So this is another Spadef wall with Primarina and Bubby. I'll take it. But this has 125 attack stat. Granted, Cleavor has 130. This gets Aqua Cutter. This gets Leaf Blade. This gets Psycho Cut. This gets Solar Blade. This gets so much bullshit. And yeah, who's gonna expect an Aqua Cutter in rain? Not me. That's gonna really surprise people. But the main reason I got this is this thing plus agility is incredibly good. And if I'm not feeling Shinasha, I can do tier 4 Glade and call it a day. Like, he can just serve me like he is now, asleep. But all in all, that is the team. Tell me what you think in the comments or in person. DMs are open. And I hope you guys look forward to a rather fun season in NBBL. I believe I play Twisted Gaming Week 1, and I have to deal with the Sunline. Not Thrilled, aka Soul Galileo. So I have to try and combat that as well as his other cracked Pokemon. So that's going to be interesting. But anyways, like and subscribe if you haven't, and enjoy. You have a good night. Peace.